all the Northwest.
Is it good for the Republican Party if Trent Lott continues as the Senate leader? An extraordinary meeting to discuss his future. Biological and chemical weapons detectors. There is no system. We'll take a closer look at one solution. And just another day in the tabloid nation. The Prime Minister's wife, the con man, the lock of a prince's hair, and of course, the butler.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening, everyone. We're going to begin this week with uncertainty about the future in the country's two major political parties. The big news in the Republican Party is that Republican senators have decided they have got to get together to resolve whether their leader in the Senate, Trent Lott, is a liability and should step aside. In the Democratic Party, it's a case of potential presidential candidates scrabbling to get into the game now that former presidential candidate Al Gore has decided that his future is somewhere else. We're going to begin with Mr. Gore. Mr. Gore won more of the popular vote than George Bush in the last presidential election. And here is ABC's Terry Moran, who covered him in the campaign. Terry?
Peter, Al Gore says he reached his decision to drop out last week. Democratic Party sources tell us he spent months reaching out to potential donors and getting a lukewarm reception.
Al Gore said his decision not to run in 2004 probably means he will never be president.
And I'm at peace with that decision.
Gore displayed a rare glimpse of emotion as he almost certainly left the political stage for good.
My heart is full with a feeling of deep gratitude for the chance that I've had to serve my country.
The former vice president had been one of President Bush's most forceful Democratic critics, blasting administration policies on the war, the economy, and the environment. Today, he accused Mr. Bush of drumming up war against Iraq in order to distract voters from the sluggish economy.
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Gore's departure follows a month-long blitz of interviews and appearances that sparked speculation he would run, and his decision leaves the 2004 Democratic field wide open. That field includes about a half dozen declared and undeclared candidates, with more waiting in the wings. Gore's move frees his former running mate, Connecticut Senator Joe Lieberman, from a promise he made not to run if Gore was in the race.
If I run, I'm on my own out there.
Another all-but-declared candidate, Massachusetts Senator John Kerry, who sought to claim the momentum today.
I feel confident about the direction that my campaign is moving.
Al Gore said he decided not to run in part to spare the country a Bush-Gore rematch, which he said would focus too much on the past. And Peter, with his departure, the Clinton-Gore era in the Democratic Party is officially over.
Thank you, Terry, very much. Just before we go on to the Republicans, some observations from our colleague ABC's George Stephanopoulos in Washington. First, why do you think Gore walked away? Did you see the handwriting on the wall?
I think he saw the handwriting on the wall, Peter, and I think he was also having fun in his private life. He was making some money. He felt liberated. You saw that on Saturday Night Live, and I think he said, you know what, I don't need this anymore.
Okay, now look forward for me. I want to get something from you I can hold you to. Name two Democratic candidates who will regard as front runners 15 months from now.
First one will be John Kerry. He's strong in New Hampshire. He's got the inside track with Democratic donors and access to the fortune of his wife, Teresa Hines, and national security experience key this year. And I would say the second one is Congressman Richard Gephardt. He's strong in Iowa, won the Democratic caucuses in 1988. He's got the inside track with organized labor, and he's the only likely candidate in the field so far who's actually run in the primaries before.
Thank you, George. We wrote it down. George Stephanopoulos in Washington. Now to the Republicans. The Republican leaders are more worried about the past than they are about the future. These attacks on Senator Lott, accusing him of racism, are haunting the party now. In the South today, Senator Lott made an unusual appearance on black entertainment television, and it did not sit well with everyone. Here's ABC's John Cochran.
At his Mississippi home, Lott prepared for the most crucial interview of his political life, then made the short drive to an Alabama TV station where police kept anti-Lott demonstrators well away from him.
The important thing is to recognize the hurt that I caused.
Under relentless questioning from BET's Ed Gordon, Lott said he was not referring to racial matters when he said Strom Thurmond's election as president in 1948 would have prevented problems we have today.
I was talking about the problems of the defense and communism and budgets and government sometimes that didn't do the job.
Lott said he is not a racist, but that
Well, there has been immoral leadership in my part of the country for a long time. Progress has been made.
Were you a part of that?
Yes, I can't deny that. I believe that I have changed.
Lott says he made a mistake when he voted against making Martin Luther King's birthday a holiday. Despite voting against affirmative action, Lott says he is for that and has hired African Americans in his office. Earlier today in Mississippi, before the interview, demonstrators called on Lott to step down. A black leader in Lott's hometown said the interview was nothing more than a publicity stunt. The official said in his 20 years as NAACP president, Lott has never met with him.
For him to go on national TV to explain his position and not come to us, we feel like it's just a sham.
Lott said he thinks he will survive as majority leader, and that if his fellow Republicans do give him another chance, he will push for an agenda more sensitive to African Americans. John Cochran, ABC News, Mobile, Alabama.
Takes us to Washington, where the senator will face the judgment of his fellow senators during a very unusual meeting on the 6th of January. Not all of his adversaries or competitors are shy about taking him on. ABC's Linda Douglas is on Capitol Hill. Linda?
Well, Peter, there is no choice on the part of the Republican leaders but to schedule this meeting. They were under growing pressure from all of their colleagues to do something about this crisis. Several senators stepped forward publicly to say it is time to do something about Trent Lott.
If Mr. Lott wants to make his case, then that's fine and dandy. The statement clearly was a misstatement, and it hurt all of us.
Some Republicans had hoped President Bush would solve their dilemma for them by calling for Lott to step down. That did not happen.
The president does not think he needs to resign.
Republican senators who do speak out are finding themselves under scrutiny for things they have done and said. Senator Burns issued a public apology 8 years ago for telling a story about a voter who asked him, "How can you live back there in Washington, D.C. with all those," and he used a racial slur. Burns then replied, "It was a hell of a challenge." Burns has since said he was wrong and has been reelected twice. And Senator Don Nichols, who has questioned whether Lott should be leader, is now facing questions about his own record on civil rights. And, Peter, it could get even uglier as the time passes leading up to this meeting on January 6th. But most, even Lott's detractors, say that this 3-week delay could help Lott because the controversy could blow over in that time, and he may have time now to make his case and keep his job.
Thank you, Linda. As they say, 3 weeks is an eternity in politics. Now we're going to go to the weapons inspectors in Iraq. The first samples collected by the inspectors from various sites arrived today at the UN laboratories outside Vienna in Austria. Scientists there will analyze the material for evidence of nuclear weapons. In Iraq itself today, the UN team visited at least a dozen sites, including Baghdad University, which opened in 1957. ABC's Dan Harris went along and got a glimpse of student life in Iraq today.
At Iraq's leading university, where Saddam Hussein wears a cap and gown, the first visit today from the foreigners who wear the light blue hats of the United Nations. The weapons inspectors spent about 3 hours scouring the Institute of Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology. Are you doing any work here that's directly or indirectly related to weapons programs?
No, never. No, not at all.
Do you know of other scientists who've been asked to develop anthrax or other diseases that could be used as a bioweapon?
I'm not aware of anybody, and I don't expect so because, this is only, this is the past. It's gone.
While the inspectors did their work, conducting their searches and asking their questions, student life on this sprawling campus continued, largely uninterrupted. After years of neglect and isolation, Baghdad University is now a surprisingly dirty, dilapidated place. Saddam Hussein has not spent as lavishly here as he has on his new mosques and presidential compounds. But the students don't blame their president. Like every Iraqi under 23, Saddam Hussein is the only leader they've ever known. They danced today at a party to celebrate the recovery of Hussein's son, Uday, who was nearly killed in an assassination attempt 3 years ago. For the lack of books and research equipment, Shema al-Basma blames the U.S. and the UN, which have maintained economic sanctions on Iraq for a decade. This 19-year-old political science student says he resents having the inspectors nosing around on campus. But he says if their work can help avert another war, the inspectors are most welcome. Dan Harris, ABC News, Baghdad.
Some other items from overseas tonight. In Venezuela, where a general strike has crippled the oil industry and the president is under siege, police fought with opposition demonstrators and barricaded streets in central Caracas. On the U.S. oil market today, the price of oil shot up almost 6% to more than $30 a barrel. That's the highest level in 2 months. Police in Pakistan say 3 men found with explosives were planning to attack U.S. diplomats in the city of Karachi. The men appeared in court today. And the international organization Human Rights Watch says that women in Afghanistan continue to be abused and harassed despite the fall of the Taliban regime. A report to be published tomorrow says that in several parts of the country, girls' schools have been attacked, government jobs remain reserved for men, and women are still forced in many parts of the country to cover themselves completely. When we come back this evening, the day's other news, if there was ever a chemical attack here, how would cities deal with it? Some scientists have a plan. We'll take a closer look. The tragedy on the river. The 4 young boys did not know that the ice was so thin. And at the end of the broadcast tonight, the tabloids are in a frenzy. So many scandals to work on in Britain at one time.
Get an amazing Gateway holiday deal for home or office. Buy one award-winning PC and get a second award-winning PC free. Purchase a Gateway 700XL PC or a Gateway 600XL notebook and you'll get a Gateway 300S PC free. Get one and give one. Call 1-800-GATEWAY now for free shipping on all home PC purchases. The Gateway 600XL uses the mobile Intel Pentium 4 processor M.
Early Sunday morning, winter's day, they can smell the cinnamon around their way.
We love Grand Cinnamon Rolls from Pillsbury. They're not ordinary rolls, they're grand.
A report in a leading medical journal recognizes the link between vitamins and the reduced risk of chronic diseases and recommends all adults take one multivitamin daily. So take Centrum today, always complete from A to Zinc.
Morning, Joe. New haircut?
No. New shoes? No.
Hey, Joe. You been working out?
No.
Hey, Joe. Shave your mustache?
Nope.
You sure that's not a new haircut?
Yes.
Did you just get back from vacation?
No.
Did you get promotion?
No.
Did I?
No.
No.
What's different? He finally asked his doctor about Viagra. Ready to ask your doctor about Viagra for the first time? Find out if a free sample is right for you. To learn more, visit Viagra.com. Ask your doctor and see the difference.
You know, heartburn is bad enough. But then, just when you think it's gone, you get it again. That's why I use Pepcid. Just one does it. I take one Pepcid AC to prevent heartburn. It actually stops it before it even starts. Or, after heartburn hits, I take one Pepcid Complete. It starts working in seconds and lasts all day or all night. Heartburn stop me? No way. Pepcid. Just one and heartburn's done.
In the national briefing tonight, the country's murder rate continues to rise, while violent crime in general is actually going down. The FBI reports today that the number of murders increased by more than 2% in the first half of the year. Criminologists say the increase in murders is mostly related to drugs, gangs, and a growing number of career criminals back on the streets. Powerful storms in California, Oregon, and Nevada responsible for 6 deaths over the last 3 days. The deaths were caused by torrential rains and winds, which reached 100 miles an hour in some places. The National Weather Service calls it a seriously unstable weather pattern and expects the rain to continue for the next couple of weeks. In Lawrence, Massachusetts, north of Boston today, the whole community is in mourning. 4 of the town's boys, 3 citizens of Dominican descent and 1 of Haitian descent, died on the weekend when they fell through the ice in the Merrimack River. Here's ABC's Ron Claiborne.
Eufemio Rodriguez came today to see the place where his 11-year-old son, Willie, fell through the ice and died. I have a pain in my heart, he said, that time will never heal. Willie Rodriguez was the oldest of the 4 boys. Victor Baez was 9. Mackinda Constant, 8. Christopher Casado, just 7. Not far from where the children fell into the river, friends, family, strangers are flocking to a memorial of candles and flowers, even personal notes written to the boys. Bill Cunningham, a 20-year veteran firefighter, was one of the first to arrive on the ice last Saturday. Cunningham pulled one child's body out of the water and figured that was it.
And the deputy chief come down and said that there were reported three more kids missing.
After the first boy fell in, 6 of his friends tried to rescue him. Francis Sprouse was one of them.
They don't human chain. We told him to grab onto it, and then all of us, we fell down in the water.
A newspaper photographer captured the moment when Cunningham brought a second child out of the water. What do you see when you look at that picture?
A child's life. Child's life slipping away.
The deaths of the 4 children have stunned people in this old mill town. Flags were flown at half-mast today at public buildings, and the names of the children were read aloud before school began. Ron Claiborne, ABC News, Lawrence, Massachusetts.
When we come back this evening, how the cell phone towers might protect a city against a chemical attack. We'll take a closer look.
World News Tonight with Peter Jennings and a closer look. Brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Boy, when I got hurt in this work, I'm glad I had supplemental insurance.
Supplemental insurance? What's that? Aflac.
Well, even the best insurance doesn't give you cash to cover things like lost pay, other expenses. This does.
What does? Aflac.
Should ask about it at work.
Really? And what's it called? Aflac!
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Aflac.
Why worry? Relax. Trust Dulcolax, the overnight laxative more doctors recommend. It's gentle enough for sensitive stomachs, yet strong enough for complete relief. So relax. Trust Dulcolax for overnight relief, guaranteed.
Hello there.
Hi.
Cigarette?
Excuse me.
Now a patch from Nicotrol can help you beat cigarettes one craving at a time, and you're twice as likely to succeed than with cold turkey.
Patch?
Introducing the Nicotrol 16-hour step-down patch. Helps beat cigarettes one craving at a time.
In 1935, Foxwood Farm started with one horse and a truck. The horse was a thoroughbred. The truck, a Chevy Suburban. Today, they have a few more horses. But there's still only one truck. Chevy Suburban. With an available 8.1-liter Vortec engine, it's capable of towing up to 6 tons, making it the best Suburban yet. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
Body pain? Back pain? Now relief is just a shuffle away. Introducing new Bear Extra Strength Back and Body. It soothes aching muscles and sore backs with the trusted strength of Bear Aspirin to work effectively at the site of pain. Plus, a special pain relief enhancer. Nothing works better than Bear Back and Body. Not Advil, not Tylenol. Get moving again, pain-free. New Bear Back and Body.
At Red Lobster's all-you-can-eat shrimp celebration, you'll never have to use silverware. You'll never have to choose between freshly breaded shrimp and scampi. And you'll never have to stop. All-you-can-eat shrimp, right now at Red Lobster.
Tomorrow, important news for anyone taking high blood pressure medication. If you are one of the millions, you can't miss this special report. Tomorrow on World News Tonight.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at a huge challenge for government, science, and technology, how to get a technological edge against terrorists. Before September the 11th, the notion of actually trying to prepare an entire American city for the prospect of a chemical or biological attack was deemed outrageously expensive, even if it were possible. Today, the idea of doing so is something of a national preoccupation. ABC's Aaron Hayes reports tonight from the Oak Ridge National Laboratory in Tennessee.
In most of the country, the only biological and chemical weapons detectors in place are us, our bodies. Illness would be the first sign that something deadly was in the air. Concerned that there is no system in place for detecting a chemical or biological attack, a group of scientists here in Tennessee began searching for a way to build a nationwide detection network. And that search brought them to cell phone towers.
Cell towers track the population, and the population is exactly what we're trying to protect.
They propose putting biological and chemical weapons detectors at cell towers across the United States.
We just lease space as we need it.
Ready to go and affordable, key, they believe, to building a national defense quickly.
This box contains a central processor, a chemical sensor, and the communications necessary to send the information back to a command center.
For a few $1,000s per tower, it includes computers that would send an alarm to law enforcement nationwide and show local emergency crews how a weapons cloud would spread. They have also developed a detector that identifies chemicals, viruses, and bacteria by their specific molecular signature. Much more accurate than old Gulf War detectors, which often misidentified chemicals and set off false alarms.
They don't have enough time to deal with all those alarms, and eventually they lose confidence in the instrument.
User-friendly is their philosophy.
Within 5 minutes, we can get a positive response.
To protect city drinking water, this detector keeps an eye on the algae, basic organisms that live in water. What could kill us kills the algae, and an algae die-off would trigger an alarm within minutes.
In this case, the sensors never wear out. They essentially live in the neighborhood that we're trying to protect.
Another idea, a machine that detects explosives and chemicals on boarding passes.
You have to have this in your hands, you put it in your briefcase, you put your hands in your pocket, you're sampling yourself and transferring that to what you're holding in your hands.
It checks every passenger within seconds. In the past, they found their proposals met with limited interest, but they're hoping now citizens share their sense of urgency.
By golly, let's do it. We have everything we need to do it.
They're just waiting for someone to call and give them the green light. Erin Hayes, ABC News, Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Changing times. When we come back, the last item on our broadcast this evening, scandal fever in Britain. The tabloids are going wild.
Once you pass 50, skincare's a whole new game.
L'Oreal Age Perfect Anti-Sagging and Ultra-Hydrating Treatment increases mature skin's resiliency as it deeply moisturizes. 83% of women reported more resilient skin. Age Perfect only from L'Oreal.
Looking for parental controls that work harder? Introducing MSN 8, where advanced Microsoft software helps protect your kids with more flexible controls you set. Controls AOL can't match. It's better with the Butterfly. Call 866 now MSN 8.
Hey, there's Progresso with grown-up-sized veggies, white chunks of chicken, big curly noodles, preferred 4-to-1 over Campbell's. Our soup speaks for itself. Discover the better taste of Progresso.
There's Carlina. She has never taken a single sick day, ever.
What's Carlina's secret? Tylenol Cold Severe Congestion. It provides triple action nasal, chest, and head relief.
She's the perfect employee.
We have a wonderful customer here at Walmart who is also the town Santa. He came up with an idea called Ho-Ho Express. Santa raises money throughout the year with help from us here at Walmart. These are children that might not have any presents under the tree. They could spend their money on themselves, but most of the time they buy for their family.
I got my mom a candle.
It's them being able to put something under the Christmas tree for them to open on Christmas Day when they wouldn't have anything.
I believe in Santa.
It's just wonderful to give them a Christmas like that.
I know he's real.
Why suffer through thick glasses of Metamucil for regularity? Try a refreshing change. Pure, natural water with Fibercon caplets. Just as effective as Metamucil, and Fibercon is refreshingly easier to take.
Headed with itching, flaking, dandruff? You need the Neutrogena T-Gel Power of 3. Unlike ordinary medicated shampoos, T-Gel works on all 3 major scalp conditions. Dermatologists recommend it number 1. Stop the itching and flaking. Switch to Neutrogena T-Gel. It works.
He was Princess Diana's former lover. He says he has over 60 love letters from the princess, and now he wants to sell them off. Tomorrow, James Hewitt speaks out exclusively on Good Morning America.
Finally this evening, the British obsession. Having lived in Britain for many years, we can say with some certainty that there were not many British households, whatever so-called serious paper they read, that go without a tabloid as well, or at least manage to get a glimpse of one most days. Tabloid news in Britain is very, very different than it is here. If you think the tabloids here are rough on the establishment, listen to this from ABC's Richard Gisbert.
On the official agenda in Britain today, Prime Minister Blair and President Assad of Syria meeting on Iraq. On the popular tabloid agenda,
good evening.
Newscasts tonight led with Blair's wife, Cherie, and her links to a con man. Mr. Blair has had to get used to it. At a European summit last week with 25 countries talking about terrorism, reporters kept asking him about the con man.
I say this with very great respect. I think everyone's had their pound of flesh, and now's the time to move on.
Some tabloids have moved on to James Hewitt, who they call the cad for peddling the story of his affair with Princess Diana. This tape allegedly shows him trying to sell her love letters to an undercover reporter from the News of the World for $16 million. Another tabloid quoted Paul Burrell, Diana's butler, calling Hewitt a disgrace. Burrell sold his story to the Daily Mirror for $500,000. A third report warned of a plot to run DNA tests on some of Prince Harry's hair to determine if he is the son of Hewitt or Prince Charles. It is assumed the tabloid was behind that as well.
I think there's more thirst in Britain for trashy news than anywhere else.
Well, there are so many other important issues going on in the world. I mean, potential war in Iraq, for starters.
Whether newsmakers like it or not, the tabloids set the agenda here. Britain is a small, crowded island. The major tabloids are national papers with a potential market of roughly 60 million. Because so many people buy them, they have enormous resources and clout. But today wasn't a total loss for Prime Minister Blair. The BBC did eventually cover his meeting with President Assad. But it was the 10th item on the broadcast. 9 stories after the con man. Richard Gisbert, ABC News, London.
That's our report on World News Tonight. This week on the broadcast, the weapons inspections in Iraq and the disorganized meeting of the Iraqi opposition in London. A new study about millions of Americans with hypertension and technology on the cutting edge. Designing grass that is really greener. I'm Peter Jennings. Have a good evening. I hope I'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
Tom Brady leads the Patriots against Steve McNair and the Titans. The playoff push is on.
Michaels and Madden are here for Monday night.
It's your Northwest Ford Store's year-end clearance. Your time has come. For a limited time only, get 0% financing for 60 months on every Ford Explorer. That's 0% financing for 5 whole years on the world's best-selling SUV. Save on 2-doors, 4-doors, even Sport Track. But don't wait, because no interest financing for 60 months on Explorer ends January 2nd. Get to your Northwest Ford Store's year-end clearance before you run out of...
Go ahead. Open it.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
It's beautiful.
That looks good.
Here's a nice one.
What is this?
Outside.
You'll find incredible values whether you buy or lease.
Go on.
The December to Remember sales event.
Hey, what you got there?
Missing it would definitely spoil the surprise.
Come on, let's go.
See Lexus of Portland.
Happy holidays.
From all of us at K2.
Since I rarely get to see you over the holidays, I'd like to say Merry Christmas to all my cousins out in Staten.
Merry Christmas.
You can get financing as low as 0% on Camry. That's 0% on the #1 selling car in America. There are so many reasons to take one home now. Toyotathon 03. Don't miss it.
Happy holidays from all of us at KOIN 6 News.